Hi everyone, Charlene Ortiz here. Today I wanted to demonstrate a really awesome exercise that you can do to help develop your balance and your stability as well as your core strength. I'm going to be using my big resistor ball here and just some real light free weights. This is definitely a movement where you're going to have to use fairly light free weights. And because of the nature of the movement, you'll never be able to do heavy weights with this exercise. I think the heaviest I've ever gotten with this movement is 8 pounds with my free weights. And so, and I've been doing it for a long time. So again, it's always going to be a movement where you'll be using light weights. And in general, you don't want to try to attempt this with heavy weights, especially in the beginning as you're learning how to do the movement. So this exercise is going to be for all your core muscles, pretty much all the muscles in the trunk area of your body, starting with your rear deltoids, your rhomboid muscles in between your scapula, your erector spinae, which is actually a muscle that goes all the way up and down your spine. And it's also going to strengthen your lat muscles because they're going to work as a stabilizer muscle when you're doing this movement. Obviously, your abdominal core muscles are going to be working hard to stabilize and balance you, and your glute muscles will also be engaged. Actually, all your lower body muscles will be engaged when you're doing this movement, again, to help stabilize you. So, sorry about my turtle. Okay, so I'm using my big resistor ball right here. And for those of you that feel sensitive, like when you lay on your stomach or on your chest, this might not be an exercise for you. But if you feel comfortable putting your chest and your stomach on the floor or laying it on top of something, then you should be just fine with this movement. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to place the ball right about underneath my hips. And I'm going to put my feet about hip width apart to help stabilize me. In the beginning, most people will most likely have a difficult time balancing themselves in this position without holding on to something. And that's okay. A lot of people will experience that when they're first attempting this exercise. So what you can do is put your feet up against the wall and let the wall help you to balance and stabilize yourself while you're doing this movement. Now with this movement, it's going to be crucial to maintain your neutral spine. And I know I say that with every exercise because it's true with every exercise, but especially these types of movements, because if you don't, you're really going to put unnecessary and inappropriate stress on your lower back. So in order to avoid that, you're going to engage your glute muscles, constantly contract your glute muscles, and you're going to keep them contracted throughout the whole exercise. So what I'm going to do, I'm holding my free weights right here, and I'm just going to let them hover above the floor, just like that. It won't be a huge range of motion. I'm keeping my neck in a neutral. I'm not letting my head lift, and I'm not letting it fall either. I'm keeping it in its neutral position. My shoulders are staying down, and I'm just in my neutral, just like I should be in every exercise. So from my hovering position, I'm going to lift just as high as what's comfortable for me. Your range of motion is not going to be great. It's just, again, the nature of the movement. You won't be able to lift a lot of weight, and you won't have a great range of motion either. As you lift, you'll breathe out and in. Out and in. And when you end your range of motion, you'll just end hovering over the floor. And like I said, the weight is going to be quite challenging at a fairly low weight. It's not going to take a lot for you to really feel the fatigue and the intensity of the movement kicking in when you're performing that exercise. So again, a really great exercise to help strengthen the muscles in your lower back, your core muscles, as well as your glutes. Also, it will help to challenge your balance and your stability and teach you how to balance and stabilize yourself in a very unstable situation. And that's what I like to do with a lot of the movements, a lot of the exercises that I do with my clients, is challenge their balance and stability while they're doing certain movements. It is somewhat advanced. I would say maybe moderate or an intermediate level. So it is something that you'll definitely want to slowly work yourself up to. Maybe in the beginning, if you just want to learn just how to balance yourself on here and just get comfortable with that and keeping yourself in neutral. Again, those glutes need to stay tucked in. That belly button really needs to stay pulled in tight. or it will be really easy for you to put unnecessary stress on your low back. So this part of your body has to be engaged, and it has to be firm. It has to be kind of locked in there in order for you to not feel pain or discomfort in your low back. So if you want to start just laying on it like this, just and learning how to balance that way, that's a great way to just get comfortable with the position and with the movement. And again, for those of you that don't feel comfortable laying on your belly or your chest, it might not be the right exercise for you right now, but for those of you that are comfortable with that, it'll be an awesome way to strengthen your core muscles, the muscles in your upper part of your back, as well as the lower part of your back, and even the muscles in the lower part of your body will be slightly engaged as it's helping to stabilize and balance you. So, okay guys, just a quick little exercise I wanted to show you that you can practice and include in your own workout regimen. So, thanks for tuning in. I always appreciate your time and attention. Remember, take care of yourself, protect yourself physically and emotionally, and don't forget, your health is your most valuable asset. Invest in it. Bye-bye.